Pacing is an absolute requirement every great offense. So here we see that the Thunder started here. Let's start this video back. They're starting in a 5 out. They're having their trailer man set this pick right here. Everyone's staying spaced out, right? The NBA is bigger, so I really don't. If you really want to be a student in the game, the NBA is actually the best to watch, just because the floor is so spaced out. The players are so good, right? But you see, they have their corner locks and they're in a 5 out spacing. So they don't have a rim runner, right? This is our help side guy. So when he's coming off this, right? He's coming off this pick and roll, right? What is this an example of? Push and pull. He pulls him. SGA holds in the corner right here. All right. Let's look at this spacing example. All right, so we have what is a 4 out, 1 in with a guy here at the nail, right? The nail is here. He's going to come off that, get downhill. All right, John Morant is staying put, right? Look at this spacing. Now, I would argue, right, that here we have Brooks at the dunker spot, although he's probably exiting out into the corner, right? In a high school basketball game, we would not want him or her here. We would want them here because of that spacing. All right. NBA courts are significantly wider, so they have much more room to work with. Here, all right, we have a 5 out spacing, all right, with Chet right here. Now we got Lou Dort here in the dunker spot, more of kind of a 4 out, 1 in, even though we have our guy Chet right here. Boom, right there. So that's the purpose of having a dunker spot guy, and you can see him. He's just slipping right behind the defense, right? Aaron Gordon's trying to communicate to Jamal Murray, but Jamal Murray is then worried about Chet. And now Aaron Gordon has to work in guard too. All right. That's a green light shot. That's what we want. All right. So you can see here, right? It starts in a 5 out. And then we got our guy, Jalen Williams here. $10 if you can name this cut. Not actually. I'm not giving you $10. That is a 45 cut. Gets right to the basket, moving off the ball. Boom. Step up screen from Joey Caruso. We are in a 5 out here. All right. So we have our corner lock. Someone else is locked here in the corner. All right. We're getting downhill, right? We're playing out of it. Good. He held there. So one of the biggest issues I see is that players get impatient in the corners, right? They want to start creeping in, right? But that pass would have never happened if Chet moved to what is called the short corner. If he lifted up, he might have been available as well, but that's an easy catch and shoot. For Chet, that's a green light shot. May not be a green light shot for you because it depends on how good of a shooter you are, right? This is the decision, right? This is high level guard play from SGA. SGA is going to read this help side because, right, Jalen Williams is doing what? 45 cut, right? SGA, right? Very high IQ. He reads this help side guy right here and knows that Chet is going to be open on the back side in that corner. So that is just a very high IQ read and spacing, right? So we're going to look at spacing is respacing, and I call it exiting out, right? So we got here Ananobi comes here, right? He's going to pass it out now, right? He's continuing to move off the ball. If they wanted to drive, right? If Anthony Towns is your dunker spot, he'd stay here, but otherwise Ananobi needs to exit, right? Obviously, in this clip we are seeing here. Now let's watch our guy, Mikal Bridges, right? So look, he's coming here, right? He's getting pulled originally, right? He's going to get pulled. All right. So we're going to watch Mikal Bridges. He gets pulled because of Towns, right? Now he's going to do what is called, if you know what this is, you're a high IQ basketball player. Do, 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 do. All right, he is going to hammer, all right, the corner, right? So hammering the corner, think about a hammer here. Look at my little watch, and he's going to hammer down, right, to go into a passing window, all right, for was Towns, and then Josh Hart gave him a little love. All right, right here, boom, we're going to go into a ball screen, right? They got 3 out, right? We're not going to run anything like this, but this is just a good example for us to see different formations of spacing, right? Causing issues and challenges. All right. So, boom, we got Josh Hart goes to cut, right? And our guy goes here, right? We're going to set a, a screen here. Boom, knock down Mikal Bridges. Great spacing. All right. Right here. What is this right here? Is this a 5 out or is this a 4 out, 1 in? Do, 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 do. 4 out, 1 in. Lou Dort is our guy in. All right, right here. So we're going to be making some reads. All right, our guy Jalen Williams, right? He's coming down. All right, he's coming down. I'm not sure what happened on that clip. We're going to fast forward through that. Boom, recover. All right, so I'm going to pause here. Oh, brother. All right, so back here, that 4 out, 1 in, right? They switch. Boom. All right, so they're switching this. They're communicating here on the off ball. All right, come on, man. Show the dang thing. All right, that is an example of what? What type of screen? Do 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 do. Flare screen. All right, so we got a flare screen here from Lou Dort. Great decision. Now, all right, attacking downhill. Right, his defender is what? His back. His never, right, when we're on the weak side, we never want the back of our head to be there, because this is a great burn cut, high IQ play by Joey Caruso. That is a green light shot every day of the week.